its determination on the 12th parade at Ardoyne, ruling that its return must happen by 4 p.m, several hours earlier than usual. That ruling came after attempts to broker a deal failed. The parade has been marked by violent confrontation in recent years. In his report tonight, Brian Rowan has been speaking to people in the north of the city who want to focus on the other 364 days of the year.
Bad news sells. It sells stronger than good news. But realistically, the good news out there far outweighs any bad news there actually is.
This is the big picture played out locally in terms of parades, identity, culture. There's a political imperative to deal with that in order to create the conditions in which people and communities who are working 365 days of the year on quality of life issues actually are freed up in some way to take the focus off that.
And this is that Ardoyne picture frame within which North Belfast is often portrayed. The image is of a torn community, a place of division and tensions, one of those parts of the city where walls are still needed to keep its people apart.
Parading is a big problem. There's no doubt about that. There's no quick fix to it. But as you say, it's the mad week. I'll just have to see how things pan out.
This road is often littered with the debris of parading and protest, of standoff and confrontation, of argument and not agreement. And year after year we've watched as it's been turned into a violent playground. Yet this is only one of North Belfast's many jigsaw pieces.
Here we are with 6 barriers up Dunkirk Gardens that separates the two communities. The Protestant Unionist community of Tigers Bay and the Nationalist Republican community of the New Lodge.
Those barriers being discussed are part and parcel of North Belfast life, and no one is suggesting they're coming down soon. But there is a generation that hopes to see things change.
If it doesn't change, it'll keep going on and going on and going on. And I think now it's kind of starting to change where, yes, we are doing more cross-community and we are meeting together more, and like the barriers are slowly but surely going down, and it's just a matter of time until they're eventually gone.
And Shelley, I suppose the more you meet with each other, the more you understand that you're the same.
Yeah, you realise that you've like a lot more in common, and you know, we're not as different as everyone makes us out to be.
I have a lot of friends now from the other side, and they're my best friends now, that I wouldn't have had the opportunity unless we did manage to cross the barriers and get to see each other.
Alexander Park is one place where you can see progress. Not long ago, a continuous barrier ran through this tranquil spot. But now there's a way from one side to the other.
The gate is very symbolic in terms of the work, in terms of the transformational work in North Belfast. Local residents, local communities, local community groups had the vision of a park that was one rather than a park that was divided in two.
And they've done up a programme.
This residential conference was happening in North Down yesterday, not that many miles from North Belfast. But these are pictures that tell the story of long journeys made. People once divided, now able to speak with rather than at each other, and about much more than that one day of parading.
Stuff that we're involved in the 364 days of the year, it's just as Connor says, you know, there's a shared housing initiatives, there's a city site initiative, there's the Alexander Gate, there's other things there. There's ex-prisoners working together, there's the drug stuff that we're involved in. You know, we're both communities, people from Tigers Bay and people from New Lodge have went into one another's area to see what an empty plate in Tigers Bay is an empty plate in New Lodge.
For many times the media paints North Belfast just in a black and white way as a complete negative. What we've been doing today is building on some of the positive stuff around the opening up of the gate in Alexander Park, some more interface openings in terms of the removal of the relocation of the bonfire at Adam Street, and we're looking today to see how we can capitalise on that.
They were also talking about parental responsibility, what the communities have in common, and an initiative to deal with drugs.
It's basically a drug bin that's located in a number of locations in Lower North, between Tigers Bay, one into Rocket and one in the New Lodge, along the Shore Road. And anybody can anonymously remove prescription drugs or illicit drugs from their homes, deposit them in these bins, no questions asked, and then they're safely removed from the streets.
One of the big themes this time last year was the young age of some of the people who were involved in that trouble. There is that need for parents to know what's going on.
Yeah, and we would work with parents, a lot of parents, all the agencies do, and with that, with know where your young people are, know what your young people are up to. We have young people who can't travel to other countries now because they have criminal records, maybe at the age of 12. So it was working with parents around those issues, with the negative impact on their families and then on the wider community.
We understand our differences and we respect our cultures, but what we look at on a day-on-day basis is our similarities.
The them and us scenario is slowly but surely beginning to go, and I welcome that change, as does a lot of other people who are involved in the same processes as ourselves.
So more and more is happening in step, and that big moment last week, the Martin McGuinness handshake with the Queen, is being viewed on the ground as something that can only help.
It was a leadership decision by Martin McGuinness. Have to applaud what actually happened. I think it makes it easier for people. For the kind of work that we're engaged in across communities and trying to build genuine relationships, it was an acknowledgement of an identity here on this island, and it was Sinn Féin acknowledging that.
I think it creates a new scenario about new possibilities, and I think we got to seize the moment. And there's certainly issues that need to be resolved, issues around identity, how it's acknowledged, culture, how it's acknowledged. But I think all that is possible.
But in a week's time, the focus will be back on marching feet and protest. Back again on this part of North Belfast, where one particular day often dominates the news. But away from the marching and the protesting, there is much more going on in the wider frame. Brian Rowan, UTV Live Tonight.